Hey, thanks a lot for clicking one of our ads and wanting to know more about these exciting property investments. I thought I'd do this quick introduction to building your wealth through property and also the 5 highest return and capital growth property investments you can make today. Look, we know that property is the best investment because 90% of all Australians who are millionaires made their money directly from property. Now, the 3 most important questions to ask if you want to be successful in property investing is number 1, where are you going to invest? Which area, which state, which city, which suburb? Because not all areas and not all suburbs, not all states, not all cities go up at the same time. So you got to know, first of all, which is the best area where you got the highest potential capital growth. The second question you got to ask is what type or class of property should you invest in? Should you invest in commercial, residential, and the classes within those? We'll cover those in a minute. And number 3, which specific property within those types or classes of properties should you invest in, trying to get that highest return on investment? So those are the 3 questions that you need to know. Now, as far as my own journey goes, I've owned 24 property investments in my life. I started with investment units and townhouses. I've done land subdivisions, 6 or 7 renovations, townhouse and duplex site approvals, as well as invested in several high-end properties that I made really good money on. Now, the best investments I've done were the well-located, positive cash flow properties that went up in value over time, such as the one in the photo. I just sold it last year on the Gold Coast. I paid $1.6 million for it, sold it for over $3 million just last year. I still that property down the bottom as well. Bought that a few years ago. It's gone up in value, plus it gets us great cash flow. So in the past, I used to do the hard work stuff. You can work your weekends, you can do renovations, you can put a lot of effort into adding value to properties. But that's hard work. As I got older, I started looking for better investment opportunities where I don't have to do a lot of work, but I'm getting a good return and a good capital growth. And that's why my latest investment was one of these NDIS properties where I invested in a share of that property. Expected return is 13.3%. And it's over $8,200 a year for each $60,000 investment. And look, we can talk about it a little bit later. We've got a whole video on these types of investments and how you can, how you can benefit from them. Along the journey that I've done, I've created a lot of books and reports that actually documented my own journey through investing. One of them was called Boom Suburbs, which is how to find higher growth areas and, the best places where you want to invest in to get the greatest capital growth. I've also done one on how to sell or rent your property for more money. So this is when, times are a little bit tougher. And if you want to maximize the return on your investments, how to rent and sell your property for more. Also, a beginner's guide to property investing in Bali, because this is a new area where I've been to Bali a few times this year. There's some great opportunities there. And also, the beginner's guide to building your wealth through NDIS property. Again, highly lucrative area where you can get very high returns, great capital growth. And I wrote a whole book around that if you want to get a copy of that. Now, why should you start investing right now? Well, Australian property prices are still rising, right? There's no shortage of properties that are going up because there is a real shortage of actual houses and builders and materials, combined with the population growth and migrations pushing prices up. So you got this, perfect storm. And as you can see from those articles, it's been 18 months in a row now, property is going up, and it shows no end in sight because the market is still catching up to the demand, right? We don't have the number of properties needed either to rent or for people to buy to live in. So this is what's causing the prices to go up. Now, if you're looking at where to invest, the first question on your list should be which suburb or which area should you invest in. So we've developed 14 identifiable, and they're actually documentable and easily recognizable data-driven market movement indicators that will give you signs that property prices could rise in an area. And as I said, not all areas rise at the same time, and there's some signs before a property goes up that area is going to boom. So the first one is, of course, supply and demand. That's why across Australia, prices are generally moving up because there's simply not enough houses and there's too many people, basically fighting for those houses for rent and for investment. Now, I don't know if you've heard that saying, cash flow is king. That's right. If you got cash flow you are safe with property, because if you're making money, you can't go broke making money in property. So what properties will give you the best returns, cash flow and growth today? So we're going to look at several different options like house and land, rooming house, NDIS, Airbnb, there's home units, there's properties in Bali, there's commercial. So let's have a look at what are the best options right now. First of all, co-living and house share. These ones get you between 4 to 7%. Look, these are not my favorite, but some people like them because you can actually move into their property afterwards. If you want to use it as a family home, you can. And it's basically where you're subletting each individual room, fully furnished room, rather than renting the whole house on its own. So this will give you a higher return than if you just rent the whole property out to one tenant. The second one is rooming houses. Now these ones can get anywhere from 8 to 12% returns. Now these are a new category of investment that hasn't been around for a very long time. And it's basically a purpose-built house with 5 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, and even 5 kitchenettes under the one roof. Now these are a different zoning to the house and land and the co-living one that I showed you previously. And you need to get a different, it's a 1B zoning. And they are not really suitable for family living. They are meant to be rented to separate individuals. They all sign leases on their own, 3-6 month leases. And they're self-contained like studio apartments within the one property. Again, good option. The third one is, look, I like these ones. I've done these in the past and I still own a couple of these, Airbnb and holiday lettings. Again, you can get 8 to 15% returns. These are also the sort of investments that you would make if you invest in overseas like Bali, where I'll talk about next. But these are only suitable for prime locations and only if you're really going to self-manage them. So in other words, you're going to put the work in to get that sort of income. Because if you have somebody else manage them for you, some of these companies that manage these resorts, they take up to 50% of the income. So not for everybody, but that's actually one that I own up here in Early Beach. You can see it's right on top of the marina. So great position. And as I said, it's a very specialized investment. But if you want to do it yourself, then great income. Now, the ones that I really like, and my latest investment that I've made is this NDIS property, where you can get 8 to 14% and more returns, plus up to 6 to 10% capital growth, starting from just a $60,000 investment, right? I've just invested in one of these myself. And look, here's an example of how that sort of property works. Hey, so this is what I'm talking about. A property like that behind me, as an NDIS property, you can make anywhere from $75,000 to $200,000 on the rental of that property. Now the property next door, which is not NDIS, you'll get about $35,000 a year, if that. So this is why these properties are such a good investment and they give you such good returns. And look, it looks just like a normal home from the outside. You can't tell any different until you're actually inside the home. So make sure you give us a call and let's discuss whether this is one of the options that would be really suitable for you. There you go. Look, again, if you want more information, we have a whole presentation. It takes over an hour to actually just on NDIS properties because it's a very specialized field, but it'll give you all the information you need. So if you want more information, just give us a call and we can discuss that with you and send you a copy of that. Now, the other one that I like, and I just mentioned this, it's not for everybody, but I've done a couple of overseas investments as part of my investment journey, and that's in Bali. Look, again, Bali, you can get very high returns, up 15%, even higher. Again, hands off, completely managed. You're getting really good capital growth there. Plus, you get some free holidays. So if you like Bali, you like going on holidays, you like a bit of surf, cheap food, and the lifestyle that gives you, then this is an option. That's a resort there we looked at right on the right where the arrow goes, and there's another one being built right there on the beach. So let's have a look. I've been on site with some of these projects, so let's have a look at what Bali looks like. So here you can see the Kiara resort. That's going to be on the other side of the building site, and this is going to be an absolutely 5-star development. Price is starting from just $232,000. And there's over 100 apartments that are going to be built here that you can invest in. And look, you got the beach right on your doorstep. You can see the cruise ship there behind me. That's a big P&O cruise ship. And yeah, give me a call. Why can't you be walking along the beach like this and enjoying this kind of lifestyle? This is what Bali is all about. The sun, the warm weather, and a beautiful resort by the sea. Okay, look, Bal is not without its challenges like every other investment, but I think you're getting the idea as to what some of the options are. Look, I like to give you these options because in Australia right now, we do have an affordability problem, right? And that's why we've got some properties now where we can actually invest from $60,000, just as one of my latest investments that I've done. So there's two ways you can invest. One is where you basically buy the whole property, you own the whole thing outright. And the other one is in selected properties on it. This is not available for all the properties available, but you can also get fractional share ownership where you can invest in anywhere from 5 to 10% or even up to 35% share of a property with other investors taking up the rest. And again, you go on title. It's just like by a normal house. It's all done through solicitors. It's all done, you got to pay the stamp duty. It's the same process, but you're only buying a share, independent share of the property. Now, if you want more information on that, then again, give us a call and we'll send you some info on exactly how that works. Now, the three ways you can invest in all these properties is number one, use the equity in the properties you've already got. That's a great way to get your money working for you rather than just sitting there doing nothing. Second one is self-managed super fund. If you haven't set one up, we can do that for you. I've invested, my last two investments have been in my super fund. It's because I'm of that age, so it's a great way to also plan for your future. Or of course, you can do cash. If you got cash, then you don't need a lot of help. Now, what I'd like you to do is contact us, book a meeting with us to assess what investment strategy and what property is going to work best for your current situation. We can send you links to some of the books that I've written. We can send you some more video information on some of these different types of investments that is much more detailed than what I've covered here. I just want to give you a quick taste. And look, there's nothing we'll try to sell you in the meeting that we have with you. I just want to get to know you, or one of my team's going to want to talk to you, have a quick chat, and allow us to help to sort of find out more about your goals and the best way forward for you for what you're looking for. Now, I want to thank you once again for dropping into one of our ads. And I really hope to meet you one day because, I've become best friends with some of my clients in the past and investors. And it's a journey that I'm absolutely excited about. I love property. And as I said, I've been doing it since I was very, very young. And it's something I do know a lot about. So let's have a chat and I'll talk to you soon.